Good morning. Welcome to Up to the Minute. It is the 15th of February. We are more than halfway through this month. That's right. Hard to believe. It's a short month. We're almost there, on our way to March. And hey, you know what March means? It means spring break, and that's coming up as well. We're less than a month away from spring break here at HCC. All right, on the target for today, we've got some special guests. We're continuing our celebration of Black History Month. We've got two of the leaders here at HCC. We're going to get to them in just a moment. But thanks to you who are watching us on Facebook Live and YouTube. We appreciate you being here with us this morning. You can also catch the show on HCCTV. The rebroadcast of Up to the Minute is on at noon, 5, and now 10 p.m. for your viewing pleasure. If you don't want to watch those Carol Burnett reruns on, METV or something, you can watch HCCTV. That's right, 10 p.m. with Up to the Minute. Okay, you can also follow us in social media and watch the show anytime. Tony Reyes Sutherland is my co-host. Good morning to you, Tony.
Good morning. I didn't know that Carol Burnett's show was still on. I may have to look at that.
Yeah, well, where have you been? We talked about it before.
I know we talked about it, but I can't find it. I have to look for it.
Yeah, I think it's on TV Land or METV, but they play the actual reruns, and I think it comes on every night at 10 p.m. Why do I know this? Don't even ask, but yes, they do have it.
You've got it down.
Because I've watched it. That's why. Yeah, I watch it. It was a good show. It had its time.
Well, you can also watch us on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram by going to Houston Community College District, not just the HCC, because there's a whole lot of those, but go to Houston Community College District and you can follow us and have your enjoying your pleasure. It's better than Carol Burnett, I think.
Well, okay. We'll go with that. We're more relevant now.
There you go.
Yes, I can say that. Yeah, we're more relevant. Yeah, but it was a good show when it lasted. Hey, okay, Tony, we've got some special guests on the show. I think you know this next one. I think you know him pretty well. Dr. Abe Bryant is the Director of Auxiliary Services and Building Operations at HCC's Northeast College. Abe, good to see you.
Good to see you all. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. First off, how long have you been at Northeast College?
Since 1989.
Since 1989. Wow, hard to believe.
When they first split the colleges, I was sent to Northeast.
Well, you've been there for quite some time. We're looking forward to hearing about your journey here at HCC. So stick around, grab some coffee. We'll be with you in about 10 minutes.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Abe. Okay, we're going to kick things off with our Associate Vice Chancellor of Talent Acquisition and Performance with Talent Engagement. Rodney Nathan joins the show. Good to see you, Rodney.
Hello, Todd. How are you?
I'm doing great. First off, tell us a bit about your position, the ABC of Talent Acquisition and Performance. What does your role entail?
The title sounds fancy, like my kids like to tease me about. But what it actually entails is I have responsibility for talent acquisition, which is the group that assists in all of the recruiting and hiring of all positions, full-time, part-time, faculty, staff. I also have responsibility for our talent learning and development team, which manages all the professional development opportunities that we offer to our employees. And I also have responsibility for our talent relations team, which consists of our director of talent relations and our senior partners who are out and about to assist employees with any employee relations issues that come up.
Let me ask you this, Rodney, with your position, what is some of the biggest challenges that you face?
So some of the challenges that we face obviously are looking and finding the right folks to join the college. Many people don't realize that we actively go out and recruit. We don't just post positions and hope that folks are going to show up and apply for them. Right. Whether it's career fairs or networking or direct outreach, the team is very active in doing that. Along with that is everyone is interested in progressing in their career, but they're not really sure how to build those skill sets. And that is where the talent learning and development team comes in, using our learning management system, Percipio, to help along the way. And then, of course, whether we are assisting with performance management reviews or succession planning or things that may come up day to day, that's where the talent relations team comes in. And so the activity is widespread. And what I enjoy about what I get to do is I get to touch so many pieces of the college. And that's what makes the role a lot of fun.
You know, throughout this month for Black History Month, we've been highlighting members of our college leadership here at HCC. What can you share with us about your story in getting here to HCC in your career?
Sure. So my career is probably as eclectic as one can get. I've been in and out of what we call recruiting and human resources my entire career. But along the way, I've made some detours that included natural gas operations, trading 30-day natural gas contracts, scheduling electricity. I've been involved in government relations as a lobbyist at the state and federal level. I dipped into consulting with a couple of the major consulting firms along the way. And I spent roughly 14 years for some fairly large Fortune 100 companies actually running their diversity, equity, and inclusion practices. And it's been a lot of fun, but my progression to HCC was really easy. All I did was change elevator banks. Prior to HCC, I worked for Pros.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Who was a tenant in the 3100 building.
Yep.
And an opportunity came about. I was ready for a job change and a lifestyle change, but I was able to keep my same commute, know exactly where I needed to park, and that made it very easy.
Did that, was it kind of weird when you're going to work for HCC and you're seeing all your old colleagues working at Pros? I know they're no longer in the building now, but for a while they were.
For a while they were. And yeah, people just thought, oh, you must have been traveling or something and we haven't seen you, right? Until I would get on a different elevator. They'd be like, well, where are you going?
Let me ask you about this, because a lot of people I talk with tell me how important it is not just to spend your long hours at work, but to get actively involved in the community. Talk about that yourself and some of the roles you play outside of HCC.
Absolutely. I have been very fortunate and blessed to be able to be involved with some significant organizations in the city of Houston and actually the state of Texas. I've been appointed by 3 different mayors. And served on the Miller Outdoor Theater Advisory Board for 15 years, was the chair for 4, helped put about $2.5 million into the theater at the park. It is the only theater of its kind in the country. It makes Houston very unique because all of the shows at the theater are free and open to the public.
Yeah.
I've had a chance and an opportunity to work with the Heritage Society at Sam Houston Park. Most people know it as the park downtown with the old houses, but it's working with the mayor, working with city council, working with parks and recreation for the city. And I have a love for green space. And so that's helped there. Another organization that I have passion for is Collaborative for Children, which is involved in childcare and early childhood development. And able to be involved with them, be the board chair for a number of years. And finally, one of the things I'm most proud of is my involvement with the Texas Lyceum statewide leadership group. I'm a former president and chair of the Lyceum, and it impacts things across the state of Texas. And so those things outside of work keep me engaged and involved and actually help with work as well.
And I know I didn't get a chance to ask you about this earlier, but you worked in various roles before you came to HCC. I kind of did the same thing myself before I wound up at a college. But what I learned along the way is I took bits and pieces of each role to where I can incorporate it here. Did you do the same where you could learn a lot across various disciplines?
Absolutely. You know, a lot of what we do involves change management. I was in the change management practice at Accenture. Of course, the recruiting that I've done in various places, but even the governmental affairs, governmental relations in terms of dealing with folks, dealing with a board of trustees who are elected officials, all those things come in handy. So you pulled those skills into the role that you're in now. No question about it.
Rodney Nathan, he's the Associate Vice Chancellor of Talent Acquisition and Performance with Talent Engagement. Thanks, Rodney, for being here. Good to see you, as always.
Thank you, Todd. I appreciate you allowing me the opportunity. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too. All right. So we're going to turn things over to Tony as we continue to highlight our leaders here at HCC. And Tony, I think you know this next person pretty well.
He's one of my favorite people. In fact, his wife is actually my best friend as far as I'm concerned. I mean, you know, we worked together for like 25 years, but we're very, very close. We're more than just coworkers. Hi, Dr. Abe Bryant. He's the Director of Auxiliary Services and Building Operations for HCC Northeast. Welcome to the show, Abe.
Thank you. Thank you, Tony. Thank you for having me.
Well, speaking of many years, I understand that you have been at HCC for 47 years. Is that right?
Well, it's almost. They give you credit for full time, but I was here a year and a half part time. That was not included in that.
Wow. So I could almost say a half a century, right?
Almost, yes.
Well, you know, you've been involved with Black history, telling the story and getting people involved in that for a very long time. You've even given speeches on that. Tell us a little bit about some of that.
Well, I started out when the college was split by Dr. Charles Green. I worked under Dr. Adams, Elaine Adams. And that was a Black History event that was supposed to occur, and she was the guest speaker. Well, unfortunately, in a very short period of time prior to, her son had an accident, and she was not able to speak. So she asked me if I would substitute for her at the Black History program at that time. So I began my speeches with substituting for Dr. Elaine Adams.
Excellent. And you've given other speeches all over the place.
Yes, I was called in to Fur High School, which is close to us over here in Northeast. I was the Black History speaker for their program for their students. And I was recruited by a former board member, Mr. Austin, to give a Black History speech at the Super Neighborhood event one time. And I've done a couple of Black History speeches for churches as well.
Well, speaking of Black history, you were the first African-American member of the Board of Regents for a local chiropractic college, Texas Chiropractic College in Pasadena. And I understand you wrote a very successful grant proposal for what they call the Accelerated Science Academic Program. And you were the originator of the college's ASAP curriculum. Tell us about that.
Well, the president at that time of the Texas Chiropractic College in Pasadena, Texas, had come to Houston Community College to speak with the math science people who were working under Dr. G.E. Fritchie at the time. And he was trying to build his program and increase his enrollment. So he thought it was a good idea to come and work with the Houston Community College. And the idea was almost like an articulation. You take a few courses over in the Houston Community College and you transfer in to the Texas Chiropractic College with minimal no problem whatsoever. So he was happy about that, and so were Dr. Fritchie and the Houston Community College, because that had never happened before. The funny thing about that is that they did the marketing, and we had people from as far away as Hawaii calling and about the program to see if they could possibly enroll once they came to America. Came to Texas. So as a result of that, they asked me to appear on their board of trustees.
That is so wonderful. Well, you've been a teacher. You're a veteran of the Vietnam War. You even, as I understand, started a club within the military that promoted Black heritage, unity, and pride. What was that all about? That sounds so interesting.
Well, to be honest about it, Tony, when events occurred with Dr. Martin Luther King got assassinated, there were a lot of activity going on some military posts that were not very good at all. And so there are a few of us who tried to do things to, number one, minimize our problem as being Black soldiers. And we formed little clubs and stuff like this to, number one, protect ourselves, because there was a lot of rioting going on at that time. And there were things that were un-American. And so we were actually trying to promote and do the best we can. So we did manage to survive, and we did form a few clubs there that allowed us to do what we needed to do, perform our mission, and stay alive. And some of this took place overseas as well.
You've been recognized for so many awards and so many things. It's a huge list. Couldn't name them all, but I know one of them is the NISOT Award, the Belichick Outstanding Faculty Service Award. You've been on the Southern Region Council of Black American Affairs. You helped establish School to Work, so many things. Tell us a little bit about any of those. And I have not named them all.
Well, I enjoy teaching. I enjoy students. My resume is not as colorful as Rodney, because I've only been in education. So as a result, I did what I could. I love students. I love the interaction and this kind of thing. And so I don't like to toot my own horn. I just do my job. And if someone is going to say good or bad, it's up to them. I was unaware of all of the hoopla behind all this stuff. I just did a job. That's all I did. And I got the awards. The NISOT Award, I got that twice. I got that in 1988. And I did it again in 92 with Dr. Charles Cook, who eventually became Vice Chancellor here at HCC. We worked together during that time. And in fact, Ben, that's unusual, because Charles and I started out together at Scarborough and moved to Wall Trip. And that's before HCC got all its own building. We were still sharing things with HISD. So, yes, Tony, don't ask me how I managed all this kind of stuff for all these years. I couldn't tell you.
Well, and I know that you don't toot your own horn. That's why I was saying and I can't even name them all. There's a whole bunch here, but you have done so much, and you were selected as one of Houston's famous Black Americans by the T.H. Rogers Vanguard School. That was neat. But now you work with a lot of big, famous, and important entities like Dr. Burgo Sasser and Dr. Green and some others. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, Dr. Green was the one who split the colleges. I don't know if you remember, but he was the one who split us up into 6 different colleges there. And I was one of those who was a department head at the time. We didn't have chairs, department head. And as a result of him doing what he did, he assigned Dr. Elaine Adams as the president of the Northeast College. And she chose me as one of the people to go work with her. Now, that was on the advice of Dr. Charles Green, because I did know a little bit about him. He's not my fraternity brother, but we're all Greeks. So
there you go.
So we knew a little bit about each other. And in fact, even today when I see him, I just say, "Hey, Chuck, how you doing?" So it's one of those things. But he was the one who sent me out to the Northeast College out there to work with Dr. Elaine Adams. And so I don't know if you know that, Tony, but accordingly, the Northeast College was not supposed to survive, but it did. We made it. We really did. And even Chuck himself told me, say, "Abe, y'all did a good job because y'all weren't supposed to survive." That came directly from him. I said, "Yeah, man, I don't like to be a part of anything that fails." But
no, that was not supposed to be working for it to work.
That's for it to work, exactly. That was one bad incident, of course. We had just moved into the Northline Mall, and Student Services was the only part of HCC, though, the part of the mall at that time when the mall wall fell, unfortunately. We were so afraid that negative publicity was going to kill us. And even though we had nothing to do with it, we had a small part in there. We were building out the brick cafeteria at the time, but only Student Services were actually in the mall on the south end of that mall when that wall fell. So we were all nervous about that. And certainly we did our best to ensure people that it was not HCC that had anything to do with that. And as a result, we survived that, and the BRIT became the HCC. It was very unfortunate. We had some people to get killed in that thing, but the first thing that happened when the mall collapsed was HCC is in the mall. Well, it wasn't really HCC. And we had a hard time with that publicity on that end. But that's the only sad part. But other than that, I've enjoyed working with HCC all these years, and especially enjoy working in the Northeast College and working with people like you and Todd.
Oh, well, we love working with you. I mean, it's just a blessing. And then of course, Willie, your wife, is definitely a blessing to me. So thank you so much for being on the show. I could talk to you a whole lot longer. And like I said, your list, I haven't even named half of them, I don't think. But anyways, everybody knows that you're wonderful, that you've accomplished so much. It's great. So thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me, and having a great day.
All right. Thanks, Tony and Abe. Always good to see you. We've got some news and announcements. Of course, talking about Black History Month, our student life will continue its celebration of events for Black History Month. One of them is happening Wednesday, tomorrow. It's Black Literature Matters, 12:30 p.m. Also on noon Thursday, the 17th, Racism as a Public Threat. Line dancing happens 6 p.m. Thursday, February 17th, and there's a Black History video contest that's happening. You can submit a video about why celebrating the month is important. The top 10 videos will win a $100 gift card. Not that bad. Deadline is this Friday at 5 p.m. to get your video entered in the competition. For a complete list, we'll include some information in our social media post after the show. And Tony, Convocation is coming up. We won't have the show on Friday because we have Convocation.
Right, and it's in person. It's gonna be at the HCC Central Auditorium. There will be 2 sessions, one in the morning at 10 a.m., like when this show would normally be, and then also in the afternoon at 2 p.m. So if you don't make it at one, make it at the other. And it'll be really good. It's called, the theme is Building a Resilient Tomorrow Today. So
right.
Go to it.
Make sure you join us in person or online. All right. Student loan forbearance ends May the 1st. What does that mean? Well, you can check it out. HCC student loan forbearance is set to end this coming May 1st. To get prepared, students are encouraged to visit HCC's website for more information and make an appointment with a financial aid coach. You don't want to be caught not knowing what to do. So Get your loans in order. Make sure you're not left behind. We'll have some information in our social media post. I want to skip on down to the fast track training because we're running out of time. And if you're interested, changing your life, getting a career, getting the training you need, and most importantly, having it all paid for by grants, that's a pretty good deal, Tony.
Yes, it's free training, and you can get it in construction, healthcare, welding, smart manufacturing, IT, so many wonderful jobs, and they're high paying jobs.
Yeah.
And then you get the training for free. So, what have you got to lose? So go for it.
Yeah, some of them you can get in like IT, and be making of upwards of like $90,000 when you get out. You can't beat that. You really can't. Say you've already got a degree and your career isn't going anywhere. Get enrolled, get in these programs, get a new career. We'll pay for all of the cost. And then you get out in a short amount of time. You can't really beat that. Yeah. Okay, free groceries from HCC's counseling department. Throughout February, Houston Food Bank trailers will be set up across the district on our campus. Anyone can sign up to get free groceries. Just choose the campus, the date and time, pick up your food. We'll have some information in our social media post and how you can do that. And if you want to get some credit hours in before the spring semester ends, Tony, your time's running out.
But you can do it. Go to hccs.edu/apply and register for the classes. Remember, we've got small in-person classes. So if you want to get the one you want, you got to register now, got to register early. But there are all kinds of them. There's online anytime, on a schedule, hybrid, all of those different kinds. But go ahead and apply. Go to hccs.edu/apply.
That's right. Okay. Tomorrow on the show, Black History Month continues with Dr. Donna Davis. She's got a new podcast here on HCCTV and in social media. She's also the chief officer of HCC's Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. She'll be on the show. And it's a monthly visit from our police chief, Tony.
Oh, yes. HCC Chief of Police Michael Benford will be with us. It will be exciting to find out what he has to tell us this month.
I think your dog wants to have a word with Chief.
He
Benford.
does. He does. He
says,
y'all been forgetting about me. I want to say something.
Yeah. All right. Well, my dogs just perked up when they heard that. Like, what's going on here? All right. We're going to wrap up today's show. Thanks for being here and up to the minute. Remember, most days, weekdays, we're live right here at 10 a.m. We'll see you tomorrow.